Why is it that the moment you start chasing someone, they run further away? And why do the people who seem to pull back, who exude calm and control, always seem to hold the power? If you've just gone through a breakup, this question probably hits hard. But let me tell you something. They don't have the power, not unless you let them. The truth is, you can flip the script and make them feel the absence of you like never before. Here's a scenario for you. After a breakup, emotions run high. Your mind races with thoughts of what went wrong, how you could fix it, and worst of all, how you can't seem to stop thinking about them. It feels overwhelming, right? But think about this. While you're pouring your energy into them, they're likely enjoying the peace of not having to deal with you. That's harsh, but it's reality. So, what if you flipped the dynamic? What if, instead of giving them the satisfaction of your attention, you shifted your focus entirely? What if you became the one they couldn't stop thinking about? This is where Stoicism meets dark psychology. Stoicism, the philosophy of inner strength and self-control, teaches us one profound truth. You can't control others, but you can control how you respond. And dark psychology? It gives you the tools to subtly shift perceptions, to create intrigue, and to make yourself unforgettable, all without saying a word. Here's the deal. After a breakup, you might feel like you've lost everything. That's normal. But the truth is, you haven't lost yourself. The first step to flipping the script is to realize this. They're not your source of happiness. You are. And when you start to live like that, when you detach emotionally and focus on your own growth, you don't just heal, you become magnetic. Now, let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation, this is about reclaiming your power. It's about understanding human nature and using that knowledge to your advantage. People are drawn to what they can't have. They value what seems just out of reach. So when you pull back, when you disappear into your own world of self-improvement and confidence, something powerful happens. They start to wonder, they start to question, and most importantly, they start to miss you. Imagine this. Instead of obsessing over their texts or social media posts, you're out there rebuilding yourself into someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Instead of wallowing in the pain of rejection, you're turning that pain into fuel. And instead of waiting for them to miss you, you're becoming someone they can't afford to ignore. This is your moment to take back control. Right now, in the comments, I want you to declare your commitment to yourself. Type the phrase, "I choose peace, not pain." Let this be the first step in reclaiming your power. Because this journey isn't about them, it's about you. And before we go any further, hit that like button if you're ready to transform. Subscribe if you're committed to mastering the art of self-control and inner strength. Because by the end of this video, you're going to see yourself and your situation in a whole new light. So, let's dive in. The first principle we're going to tackle is one of the most important: understanding the pain of attachment. Why do we hold on so tightly to something that hurts us? And more importantly, how do we let go and free ourselves from that pain? Let's find out. Number 1. The pain of attachment. Why do we cling so tightly to someone who's walked away from us? Why is it that even when we know holding on is causing us pain, we still refuse to let go? It's because attachment, while it can feel like love, is often rooted in fear. Fear of loss, fear of the unknown, and fear of being alone. But here's the truth that Stoicism teaches us. Holding on to what you can't control isn't love, it's suffering. Think about it. The more you hold on to someone who's already left, the more you tell yourself that your happiness depends on them. You're reinforcing the idea that your peace, your identity, and your worth are tied to their presence. And that's not just wrong, it's dangerous, because when you give someone else that much power over you, you become their prisoner. You hand them the keys to your emotional state. But here's the twist. They're not holding you hostage, you are. The chains of attachment are forged by your own mind. They're the stories you tell yourself about how much you need them, how you can't live without them, or how life will never be the same. And while those stories might feel real, they're illusions. Illusions that keep you trapped in a cycle of pain. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism becomes your lifeline. The Stoics teach us that the root of all suffering is desire, specifically the desire for things we can't control. And what's more out of your control than the actions and emotions of another person? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let that sink in. Your power lies in letting go, not holding on. Because when you let go, you free yourself. You stop fighting the current, and you start to float. You reclaim your energy, your focus, and your peace. And ironically, that's when people start to notice. That's when they feel your absence. That's when the script begins to flip. So, how do you let go? Start with this. Recognize that your ex is not the source of your happiness. You are. Take a moment right now and reflect on this truth. Breathe it in. When you detach from them emotionally, you don't just regain your peace, you regain your power. And when you're no longer weighed down by attachment, you become unstoppable. But let me warn you, letting go isn't about pretending to be indifferent while secretly obsessing over them. It's about truly releasing them from your mind and heart. It's about focusing on what you can control, your actions, your growth, your future. It's about stepping into a mindset where you're not chasing anyone because you understand that you're the prize. Right now, I want you to make a declaration to yourself. Comment below with the words, "I let go of what I can't control." Let this be your mantra. Let it remind you that you're in charge of your peace. And while you're at it, hit that like button if you're ready to break free from the chains of attachment. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because trust me, there are so many people out there who are still stuck in this pain. Up next, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful ways to shift the dynamic after a breakup. This is where the real transformation begins. Let's dive in. Number 2, the power shift, becoming the prize. What if I told you that the moment you stop chasing them and start investing in yourself is the moment the entire dynamic shifts? Right now, you might feel powerless, like they hold all the cards. But here's a secret. Power isn't something they have, it's something you give. And the second you stop giving it away, the second you decide to become the prize, everything changes. Let's talk about what it means to be the prize. When you're stuck in the pain of a breakup, it's easy to forget your value. You start to see yourself through the lens of rejection, and suddenly their opinion of you becomes the only opinion that matters. But let me remind you of something important. Their decision to leave doesn't define you. Your worth isn't tied to their validation. Your value exists because of who you are, not because of who chooses to stay. Becoming the prize means shifting your focus. Instead of asking, "How can I get them back?" ask yourself, "How can I become the best version of me?" This is where Stoic principles meet real-world transformation. The Stoics believed in controlling what's within your power and letting go of what isn't. And what's always within your power? Your growth, your mindset, your ability to level up in every aspect of your life. Here's the key. When you pour your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, you create something they can't ignore. You become magnetic, not because you're trying to get their attention, but because you're genuinely thriving. This is where dark psychology comes into play. People are naturally drawn to confidence, independence, and mystery. When you shift your focus away from them and start building a life that doesn't include them, you become the kind of person they can't help but notice. Think about this. Have you ever seen someone go through a breakup and completely transform? Maybe they started hitting the gym, picking up new hobbies, or building a thriving social life. Suddenly, they seem more alive, more vibrant, more attractive. That's what happens when you stop chasing someone else's approval and start chasing your own potential. But becoming the prize isn't just about looking better or gaining external achievements. It's about a mindset shift. It's about realizing that you don't need anyone to complete you because you're already whole. When you truly internalize this, you stop radiating desperation and you start radiating strength. And strength? That's irresistible. So how do you start? Step 1. Stop giving them your energy. Stop stalking their social media. Stop replaying old memories. And stop hoping for a text that might never come. Take all that energy and redirect it into yourself. Start a fitness journey. Take up a new skill. Or dive into a passion you've neglected. Whatever you do, make it about you, not them. Here's your challenge. Right now, in the comments, write this: I am the prize. Let this be your declaration, your reminder that your value isn't dependent on anyone else. And if this resonates with you, hit the like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because trust me, this mindset shift isn't just powerful, it's life-changing. Next, we're going to explore one of the most underrated strategies for flipping the script. This is where the real intrigue begins. Stay with me. You don't want to miss it. Number 3. Disappear to reappear. Have you ever noticed how silence speaks louder than words? In a world where everyone is desperate to be seen and heard, the person who pulls back, who steps into the shadows, becomes impossible to ignore. This is the power of absence. It creates curiosity, longing, and sometimes even regret. And when it comes to flipping the script after a breakup, disappearing isn't just an option, it's a necessity. Let's break this down. When someone breaks up with you, they expect certain things: messages begging for closure, late-night texts, or public displays of heartbreak. They've already predicted your moves, and as long as you follow that script, you reinforce their belief that leaving you was the right decision. But what happens when you break the pattern? When you go silent? When you disappear completely? Suddenly they're left with questions they didn't anticipate. This is the psychological principle of scarcity at work. Humans are wired to value what they no longer have access to. The moment you pull away, your presence becomes a luxury, not a given. They start to wonder why you're not reaching out, what you're doing, and, most importantly, if you've moved on. It's in this void of information that intrigue begins to grow. And intrigue? That's the spark that makes them miss you. But let me be clear. Disappearing isn't about playing games or punishing them. It's about reclaiming your space and energy. It's about stepping back so you can focus on yourself, heal, and come back stronger than ever. When you go silent, you're not just cutting off communication. You're making a statement. I am no longer available on your terms. Here's a powerful truth. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it also forces reflection. When you remove yourself from the picture, they're left to fill in the gaps. And guess what? People tend to romanticize what they can't have. They start replaying old memories, revisiting the good times, and questioning whether they made the right choice. Your silence creates a mirror for them to see their own actions, and sometimes that's all it takes to spark regret. So how do you execute this strategy? First, go no contact. That means no texts, no calls, no liking their Instagram posts, nothing. This isn't just about them. It's about giving yourself the space to heal and grow. Second, stay consistent. Disappearing only works if you commit to it fully. If you break the silence prematurely, you lose the power of the mystery you've created. But what do you do in the meantime? You focus on leveling up. Use this period of silence to work on your goals, build your confidence, and create a life that excites you. Remember, the point isn't to make them miss the old you. It's to make them realize they never truly knew the best version of you. Right now, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. In the comments, write this: I create space to reclaim my power. Let this be your reminder that your absence isn't just a void. It's an opportunity for transformation. Together, we're building a community of strength and self-mastery. Next, we're going to explore what happens when you return from your silence, stronger, wiser, and more magnetic than ever. It's time to dive into the next level of transformation. Stay tuned. This is where the real magic begins. Number 4. Emotional mastery. Control the narrative. Let me ask you something. When you think about your ex, do you feel like they control the story of your breakup? Like they're the one dictating how things ended, what's said, and even how you feel? Here's the truth. Emotional mastery is the key to flipping that dynamic. When you master your emotions, you stop reacting and start controlling the narrative. Here's why this is so important. After a breakup, your ex expects you to react emotionally. They expect tears, anger, pleading, all the things that confirm you're still hung up on them. And every time you give them that reaction, you feed their sense of power. But what happens when you don't react at all? When you stay calm, composed, and unshaken? Suddenly, they're forced to rethink their assumptions. They start to wonder, why aren't they upset? Have they already moved on? Did I underestimate them? This is the power of emotional mastery. When you refuse to let someone else dictate your emotional state, you send a clear message: I am in control of me. And let me tell you, control is magnetic. People are drawn to those who exude calm and confidence, especially in situations where most would crumble. Now, let's bring Stoicism into this. The Stoics believed that emotions aren't inherently bad, but letting emotions control you is. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you apply this to your breakup, it means choosing not to be a slave to your feelings. It means stepping back and asking yourself, what can I control right now? The answer is always the same: your actions and your mindset. But how do you practice emotional mastery in real life? Start by creating a pause between what happens and how you respond. For example, if you see a social media post of your ex with someone new, your instinct might be to feel jealous or hurt. Instead, pause. Remind yourself that their actions don't define your worth. Then, choose your response. Maybe you decide to go for a run, read a book, or meditate. The point is, you take back control. Here's another tip. Reframe the situation. Instead of seeing the breakup as a loss, see it as a reset. This is your chance to realign your life, to focus on yourself, and to grow stronger. When you shift your perspective, you take away the power of the situation to hurt you. And remember, emotional mastery isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, processing them, and then choosing how to move forward. It's about showing the world and yourself that you're unshakable. Now, let's talk about controlling the narrative. The way you handle your emotions shapes how others see you. If you're calm and composed, people start to perceive you as strong and independent. And guess what? That includes your ex. They'll start to notice your strength, and it will leave them wondering, did I make the wrong choice? Here's your next step. In the comments, write this: I control my emotions. My emotions don't control me. This is your declaration of emotional mastery, a reminder that you're in charge of your own story. Up next, we're going to dive into one of the most transformative aspects of this journey. This is where you stop surviving and start thriving. Stay with me, because this is the turning point. Number 5. Reinvention as revenge. They say the best revenge is living well, and they're absolutely right. But let's take that idea one step further. What if the best way to get back at your ex isn't just living well, but completely reinventing yourself? Not for them, not for revenge itself, but because becoming the best version of you is the ultimate flex and the ultimate freedom. Let's talk about reinvention. Breakups can feel like endings, but they're also incredible opportunities for transformation. When someone leaves your life, they create a void. And how you fill that void determines whether you stay stuck in the past or launch yourself into a future that's bigger, better, and brighter than they could have ever imagined. Reinvention is your chance to show the world and yourself that you are more than the person they left behind. Here's the thing, most people stay the same after a breakup. They wallow, they repeat old patterns, and they wait for someone to come back and validate them. But not you. You're going to break that cycle. You're going to use this as fuel to create something extraordinary. Reinvention is about taking all that pain, all that energy, and redirecting it into growth. It's about proving, not to them, but to yourself, that you are unstoppable. How do you start? First, take a hard look at your life. What areas have you been neglecting? Maybe it's your health, your career, or your social life. Pick one area and commit to leveling up. Start small, but stay consistent. For example, if it's your health, commit to working out 3 times a week. If it's your career, set a goal to learn a new skill or take on a new project. These small, consistent actions will snowball into massive results. Second, embrace the power of change. Reinvention isn't just about improving what's already there. It's about creating something new. Try something you've never done before. Take up a hobby that excites you. Travel to a place you've never been, or adopt a style that makes you feel confident. Change shakes up your energy, and it signals to yourself and the world that you're not the same person you were before. Now let's get real. This isn't just about impressing your ex. This is about building a life so fulfilling, so vibrant, that whether they notice or not doesn't even matter. Because here's the irony, the moment you stop caring about their opinion is the moment they start caring about yours. They'll see your glow up, and trust me, they'll notice. But by then, you'll be so focused on your new life that their attention will feel like an afterthought. Reinvention isn't about revenge in the petty sense. It's about reclaiming your power and proving to yourself that you're capable of anything. And here's the beauty of it. As you grow and evolve, you'll attract people and opportunities that match your new energy. You won't just move on from your ex. You'll outgrow them. Right now, I want you to commit to this journey. In the comments, write, "I reinvent myself for me." Let this be your declaration of independence, your promise to focus on your growth. And if this message inspires you, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we're creating a movement of strength, resilience, and transformation. Up next, we're going to unlock one of the most powerful tools for creating desire and curiosity. This is where you learn how not caring, or appearing not to care, can work wonders. Stay tuned, because this next part is a game changer. Number 6. The law of indifference. What if I told you that one of the most powerful moves you can make after a breakup is to simply stop caring? Not in a way that's forced or fake, but in a way that's rooted in true inner peace. This is the law of indifference, the idea that when you no longer give your energy to someone, they can't help but feel the absence of your attention. Indifference, my friend, is magnetic. Here's why it works. After a breakup, your ex expects you to care. They expect you to watch their stories, like their posts, or subtly try to stay in their orbit. When you do those things, you're giving them free validation. Even if you don't mean to, you're signaling that they still have power over you. But what happens when you don't? When you stop giving them that energy? They feel the shift, and suddenly the dynamic changes. The law of indifference isn't about pretending not to care while secretly obsessing. It's about genuinely moving to a place where their actions no longer control your emotions. When you achieve this, it's not just freeing, it's transformative. Indifference creates a void, and nature abhors a vacuum. When your ex senses that you've truly let go, it forces them to question their assumptions. Why aren't they chasing me? Have they moved on? Did I underestimate them? These questions plant seeds of doubt, and those seeds often grow into curiosity and longing. Now, let's bring Stoicism into this. The Stoics teach us that freedom comes from detachment, not from the world, but from the need to control it. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Your ex's actions, their thoughts, their feelings, none of that is within your control. But your response, that's 100% yours. When you master indifference, you free yourself from the weight of their choices. Here's how you start practicing the law of indifference. Step 1. Stop reacting. If they post something that's clearly meant to get a reaction from you, ignore it. If they try to bait you into an argument or a conversation, stay calm and disengaged. Your silence speaks volumes. Step 2. Shift your focus. Indifference isn't just about what you don't do, it's about what you do instead. Focus on your goals, your passions, and the people who truly matter in your life. The more you invest in yourself, the less space you'll have for them in your mind. Step 3. Embody your worth. Indifference isn't about being cold or distant. It's about knowing your value. It's about understanding that you don't need their validation because you validate yourself. When you radiate that kind of confidence, people notice. And trust me, your ex will notice too. Here's an important reminder. Indifference isn't about playing hard to get or manipulating their emotions. It's about reclaiming your energy and using it to build a life that fulfills you. And the irony? When you no longer care about what they think, that's often when they start to care about what you're doing. But by then, their opinion might not even matter to you anymore. Right now, I want you to affirm your commitment to this mindset. In the comments, write, "I release what doesn't serve me." Let this be your mantra, a reminder that your energy is precious and you're choosing to use it wisely. And if this resonates with you, share this with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, we're building a community of strength, resilience, and wisdom. Next, we're going to dive into one of the most subtle yet powerful tools you can use to spark curiosity and intrigue. This is where you learn how to plant seeds that leave them thinking about you without even realizing it. Stay with me. This next section is pure gold. Number 7. Subtle psychological triggers. What if you could plant a thought in someone's mind so deeply that it lingers long after you're gone? That's the art of subtle psychological triggers. These aren't manipulative mind games. They're subtle ways of creating intrigue and curiosity without ever saying a word. When done right, these triggers can make your ex think about you in ways they can't quite explain. And the best part? They'll believe it's their own idea. Here's how it works. Human beings are wired to fill in gaps. When there's uncertainty, our brains work overtime to solve the mystery. This is why subtlety is so powerful. It leaves just enough unanswered questions to make someone curious, to make them wonder. And when it comes to flipping the script after a breakup, subtle psychological triggers can help you stay on their mind without lifting a finger. Let's break it down. The first trigger is the element of mystery. Stop oversharing, whether online or in person. People are naturally drawn to what they don't know. If your ex sees you posting vague but positive updates, something as simple as a photo of a coffee cup with the caption, "New Beginnings," it sends their mind racing. What new beginning? Are they seeing someone? Did they move on already? The goal is to spark curiosity, not jealousy. You want to create a sense of intrigue, not drama. The second trigger is unpredictability. People crave patterns and routine, and when they can't predict your actions, it unsettles them in the best way. If you used to always be available or respond instantly, stop. Create a sense of unpredictability around your presence. For instance, if they message you, don't respond right away, or at all. This subtle break in routine forces them to think about you because you've disrupted their expectations. The third trigger is contrast. When they do see you or hear about you, make sure the impression you leave is strikingly different from the one they remember. Maybe they recall you as someone overly emotional or reactive. Now, you're calm, confident, and thriving. This contrast plants a seed in their mind. Have they changed? Were they always this amazing, and I just didn't see it? Now let's weave Stoicism into this. The Stoics teach us to focus on our internal state, not external validation. By embodying calm, collected energy, you naturally project a sense of strength. This energy is magnetic, and it subtly influences how people perceive you. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. In this context, it means stop worrying about what they think. Just become the best version of yourself, and their perception will shift naturally. Here's a key point. These triggers only work if you're genuine. If you're still consumed by what your ex thinks, it will show. But if you've truly stepped into your power, your actions will naturally create the intrigue you're looking for. Authenticity is what makes these triggers effective. Here's your next step. Start small. Post something that sparks curiosity, or make a subtle change in your routine. Don't overdo it. Less is more. The power of subtle triggers lies in their simplicity. Now, I want you to make a commitment to this mindset. In the comments, write, "I live with purpose and authenticity." Let this be your reminder that you don't need to force anything. Just live your truth, and the right energy will follow. Next, we're going to explore how to solidify everything you've learned and step fully into your power. Stay with me. This is where everything comes together. Number 8. Living well as the ultimate comeback. Have you ever noticed that the people who truly move on after a breakup aren't the ones seeking revenge or trying to prove a point? They're the ones who focus entirely on themselves, building a life so fulfilling that their ex becomes a distant memory. This is living well, and it's the ultimate comeback, not because it hurts them, but because it heals you. Let's get one thing clear. Living well isn't about pretending you're okay while secretly hoping they'll notice. It's about genuinely moving forward. It's about finding joy in the present, creating a vision for your future, and becoming someone you're proud of. When you focus on living well, you stop chasing external validation, and you start chasing what truly matters, your own happiness. Here's why this is so powerful. Breakups often make us feel like something was taken from us, our peace, our stability, or even our identity. But when you commit to living well, you're not just reclaiming those things. You're creating something entirely new. You're building a version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And the irony, when you stop caring about what your ex thinks, that's often when they start noticing you again. But by then, you'll be so far ahead, you won't even care. Let's talk about how to live well. The first step is to define what fulfillment looks like for you. Is it spending more time with friends and family? Pursuing a passion you've always put off? Achieving a fitness goal or career milestone? Whatever it is, start working toward it today. Progress, no matter how small, creates momentum. And that momentum is what makes life exciting again. Next, embrace gratitude. When you're focused on what's missing, it's hard to see what you already have. Take a moment every day to reflect on what's good in your life. Maybe it's your health, your friends, or even just the fact that you're growing stronger through this experience. Gratitude shifts your mindset from lack to abundance, and that shift is magnetic. Another key? Surround yourself with positivity. Let go of anything or anyone that brings you down. This might mean stepping back from certain friendships or cutting ties with toxic influences. Instead, seek out people who uplift and inspire you. The more positivity you have in your life, the easier it is to stay focused on your growth. And finally, celebrate your wins. Big or small, every step forward deserves recognition. Did you stick to a new habit for a week? Celebrate it. Did you land a new job or achieve a fitness goal? Celebrate it. These moments remind you that you're moving forward, and they keep you motivated to keep going. Here's the beauty of living well. It doesn't just transform your life, it transforms how others see you. When you're thriving, it's impossible not to notice. Your ex will see it. The people around you will see it, but most importantly, you'll see it. And when you're truly happy, you realize that you don't need anyone else's validation because you've found your own. Right now, I want you to make a promise to yourself. In the comments, write, "I choose joy and growth." Let this be your declaration that you're moving forward, not backward. Next, we'll bring everything together in the final section. This is where you fully step into your power and embrace the life you're building. Stay with me. You won't want to miss this final step. This is it, the moment where you step fully into your power and leave behind the version of you that was defined by heartbreak. This isn't just about getting over your ex or making them miss you. It's about embracing your new beginning. It's about becoming someone so strong, so confident, and so fulfilled that your past becomes nothing more than a stepping stone to your future. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything you've learned. You've discovered the power of detachment, the beauty of letting go, and the importance of emotional mastery. You've seen how silence, reinvention, and indifference can completely shift the dynamic of a breakup. But more importantly, you've realized that the most powerful transformation doesn't come from their regret. It comes from your growth. Here's the truth. Breakups feel like endings, but they're really beginnings. They're opportunities to realign with your values, rediscover your passions, and rebuild a life that's even better than before. When you stop chasing, when you stop trying to control what's outside of you, you create space for something incredible, your own evolution. This is your time. The version of you that cried over late-night texts, that replayed old memories, that doubted your worth, that version is gone. In its place is someone who understands their value, who knows how to channel their energy into growth, and who refuses to settle for anything less than a fulfilling life. So, what's next? Take everything you've learned and put it into action. Commit to your growth every single day. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Pursue the goals that set your soul on fire. And remember to celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And with every step you take, you're proving to yourself just how capable you are. But let's not forget the ultimate lesson here. Your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion, not your ex's, not anyone's. You're worthy because of who you are, not because of who loves you, leaves you, or regrets losing you. That realization is your greatest superpower. Before we wrap up, I want you to make one final declaration to yourself. In the comments, write, "I claim my new beginning." Let this be your statement of power, your promise to keep moving forward, and your reminder that you are the creator of your own happiness. If this journey has inspired you, if you're ready to embrace this new chapter of your life, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and join our community of empowered individuals who are reclaiming their lives and stepping into their power. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, because together, we're not just moving forward, we're thriving. Remember, you're not defined